Hello friends, in this session I will discuss with you various aspects related to curriculum implementation. The main objectives of this session will be to acquaint you with the meaning and concept of curriculum implementation, to make you aware about the steps that are involved in curriculum implementation, to familiarize you with various factors that are very important for quality curriculum implementation, and of course, to apprise you about the actual process of curriculum implementation. My main focus will be on curriculum implementation in technical institutions such as polytechnics and engineering colleges. Well, curriculum implementation is a very important phase of curriculum development process. So, to actually understand curriculum implementation, we must know about curriculum process, curriculum development process and various stages of curriculum development process. Once we know about curriculum development process, the concept of curriculum implementation will be very, very clear. See, let us focus on curriculum development process. Curriculum development process actually means conceiving a program, planning a program and then putting that program into practice. Curriculum development process consists of 4 stages. The first stage is need analysis stage. In this stage, we actually identify what is the need of starting a particular program, what type of employment opportunities are available for the pass outs for that particular program. At this stage also, we see what are the technological advances that have taken place in that particular area, so that they can be added into the curriculum. The next stage is curriculum design stage. At this stage, we take decisions regarding what are the course objectives, and based upon these course objectives, we decide what are the subject areas to be taught to the students. Then we decide what are the detailed contents for all these subject areas. We also decide how the students are to be evaluated once they go through those subject areas. So, this is the curriculum design stage, and once the curriculum design stage is over, the curriculum document is developed. The next stage is curriculum implementation stage. At this stage, we hand over the developed curriculum document to the institute where it will be implemented. Curriculum implementation basically means putting the curriculum into practice, and the last stage is curriculum evaluation stage, where we get feedback from different people and then continuously make improvement in the curriculum. So, you see that curriculum implementation, the third stage of curriculum development process, this is very, very important stage of entire curriculum development process. The success of the curriculum depends on curriculum implementation. If we see this curriculum implementation in detail, curriculum implementation means putting into practice the courses of study, the syllabus and the subjects. It is during implementation that the students actually start studying, the teachers actually start taking classes in the classroom, the students start performing in the laboratories and in the workshops. So, actually the things are happening during the curriculum implementation process. The students take the center stage, the students acquire the knowledge, the skills and attitudes, and all these things are helpful to the students when they actually go to the industry at their workplace, because all these things, knowledge, skills and attitudes, they will be using at their workplace. For curriculum implementation, you also need an implementing agent, and in this case the teacher is the implementing agent. The teacher transforms whatever course of study is there into lessons, into their own scheme of things, and then the teachers deliver it to the students. Curriculum implementation takes place when teachers and students interact in a very learner friendly environment. Actually, during implementation, the teachers and students interact over different issues, over different subject areas, and then actually you see during implementation the actual teaching learning is taking place. And this stage is very important because the entire success of curriculum depends on this stage. It is aptly said that an average curriculum, if implemented properly, will give very good results, whereas on the other side a very well designed curriculum, if not implemented properly, it will fail to achieve the objectives. So, that is the importance of curriculum implementation, and all the people from the institute have to be involved while implementing the curriculum. Next aspect, that is what are the different steps that are involved in curriculum implementation. We will take all these steps one by one. The first step is analysis of new curriculum to determine the changes. You see, whenever the curriculum is developed, there will be changes in the curriculum, there will be changes in the subject contents, the theory part, the practical part. So, before implementing the curriculum, we have to see what type of changes have taken place in the curriculum, what are the new subject areas that have been added, is there any subject that has been deleted. So, we identify that subject. Are there any changes in the course contents of the subject areas, that also we see. Then what is the assessment scheme? Are there any changes in the assessment scheme? What is the weightage of marks that is given for different subjects? All these things are identified at the analysis stage. Once we determine these changes, the next stage is orientation of faculty and staff about the salient features of the curriculum. Now, this is a very important step, wherein we inform all the faculty and staff about the changes in the curriculum, the salient features of the curriculum, such as the project work, the student centered activities or industrial training. All these features of the curriculum, they are shared with the faculty. The next stage is organization of resources. While implementing the curriculum, we have to see that whatever resources that have been prescribed by the curriculum, they are procured. There are different type of resources. There are physical resources, there are human resources, and then there are information resources. Physical resources in terms of infrastructure, laboratory, workshops, classrooms, buildings, all these things are necessary for implementing the curriculum. Then as far as human resources are concerned, for implementing the curriculum, you need faculty, a very well trained faculty. Then you need staff, number of people who are skilled in developing the desired skill amongst the students. So, these people are necessary for implementing the curriculum. And then you need information resources. There should be good textbooks and lab manuals in the library and other audiovisual aids in the classrooms that will be helpful to the teacher in implementing the curriculum. So, these resources have to be organized while implementing the curriculum. The next stage is training of faculty in emerging areas. It is quite possible that once a curriculum is designed, the curriculum prescribes that some new subject areas should be introduced in the curriculum, some new technological advances should be taught to the students, and if that is so, then the faculty has to be trained in those emerging areas. The faculty has to be trained in those emerging areas. And there are different aspects of training. One is that you train the faculty in a particular subject area that he will be dealing. The other area is use of audiovisual aids and other facilities in the classroom. The teacher should also be trained in using different type of learning experiences while delivering instruction to the students. So, all these things should be taken into account while implementing the curriculum. Another very important step is preparation of instructional resources. From instructional resources, I mean the resources that the teachers will be using while delivering instructions. Now, there are three types of instruction resources. One is the printed material that consists of various types of assignments or some sort of handouts. That is one type of instruction resources. Then you have the audiovisual aids, which consists of some films or slides or pictures. You can also use posters. And the third type is the manipulative aids that consists of some models or puzzles, or you can also use some sort of simulators while imparting instruction. So, all these instruction material has to be prepared at the institute level, and if these material cannot be prepared, then they have got to be procured from the market. So, this again is a very important aspect as far as curriculum implementation is concerned. And the next step is monitoring the teaching learning process. It has to be ensured that the developed curriculum should be implemented in letter and spirit by all. If there are any difficulties in implementing the curriculum, they should be immediately addressed, and all people should be involved in implementing the curriculum. Now, my friends, let us come to the next aspect of curriculum implementation, that is identifying the factors that affect the quality of curriculum implementation. These factors are very important, and the institute management has to keep all these factors in mind if they have to ensure effective curriculum implementation. The first factor is availability of resources. The institute management has to ensure that all resources that are required while implementing the curriculum are available beforehand. These resources may be physical resources, that is some labs, some workshops, and if the labs and workshops are available, then the equipment, the machinery and tools in these workshops. All these resources will be very helpful in developing the desired skill amongst the students. Then you need the human resources. It is very important to have the human resources in terms of competent faculty as per the desired qualifications. Similarly, very well trained staff. These human resources will be very useful in implementing the curriculum. Then you need the information resources in the form of textbooks, lab manual, workbooks in the library. The second factor is motivated teachers. Teachers play a big role in effective curriculum implementation. If the teachers have the willpower, if the teachers have the motivation that they will develop the desired knowledge and skill amongst the students, then automatically an effective curriculum implementation will be implemented. The other aspect is the students, the level of the students. If the level of the student, the ability to comprehend the things, the ability to assimilate the things, the ability to gain new knowledge, if that is missing, then the quality of curriculum implementation will be affected. So, sometimes you can also see that the level of the students is a major factor that influences the type of learning experiences that has to be provided by the teachers. So, students and the level of the students, that is an important factor in implementing the curriculum. Another important factor in curriculum implementation is the leadership. The institute authority has to take a key role, an important role in implementing the curriculum. They have to plan for training their faculty and the staff. They have to plan for procuring the resources that will be useful in implementing the curriculum. If there are any difficulties in implementing the curriculum, the authority has to see that all these difficulties are immediately addressed, and that can happen by having discussions with different type of people who are actually engaged in implementing the curriculum. The next factor is linkage with the industry. See, this is very important factor, because whatever curriculum is being offered in the technical institutions, in the polytechnics, in the engineering colleges, basically the turnout from our institutions, the pass outs from our institutions, they are meant for the people, they are meant for the industry, they will be working in the industry. So, the people from the industry, they should be involved at all levels while implementing the curriculum. We can invite experts from the industry to deliver lectures in our institutions, so that they can share their thoughts regarding what are the technological developments that have taken place in the industry. We can involve the industry by offering the students some live problems from the industry that they can take up as project work. We can also take our students for industrial training, so that they can see what type of technological advances have taken place in the industry. So, industry has to be involved in all aspects of curriculum, and then and only then effective curriculum implementation can take place. And the last factor as far as curriculum implementation is concerned is the environment and the culture of the institute. If the culture of the institute is that the quality of teaching will, there will not be any compromise as far as the quality of teaching is concerned, the desired type of knowledge and skills will be developed amongst the student as per the needs of the industry, then that will lead to quality implementation of the curriculum. Similarly, the environment of the institute is very important. A neat and clean environment, a learner friendly environment, a peaceful environment. If that sort of environment is there in the institute, then definitely better learning will take place and the curriculum will be effectively implemented. Now, my friends, let us come to the actual process of implementing the curriculum. Now, you already know that these are the different steps in implementing the curriculum. These are the different factors that have an effect on the quality of curriculum implementation. Now, we can actually see what is the actual methodology, what is the actual process of implementing the curriculum. You see, there are again different steps involved in this process. The first step is the identification of key areas in implementing the curriculum. See, the key area means an area that involves certain activities and that requires the attention of institute authority. So, the first step is identification of these key areas, and if the key area is very broad, the activities to be carried out are too many, then we identify the related tasks based on this key area. I will show you the example for this one, but related to the key areas, we find out the corresponding tasks for each area. And the next step is making the people responsible for taking care of these key areas and the related tasks. You make the people, you identify the people and make the people responsible for specific key areas and for specific tasks. Once you know the key areas, the tasks and the people who are responsible for these tasks, then you prepare an operation plan which indicates the key areas, the tasks and the concerned person. And once the operation plan is prepared, then you actually implement that operation plan. So, my friends, these two aspects are very important: preparing the operation plan and then actually implementing the operation plan. Once you prepare the operation plan and put this into practice, the curriculum is automatically implemented. Let us see how we prepare this operation plan. While preparing the operation plan, we have to identify the three aspects: the key areas, the related tasks and the people who will be responsible for taking care of these tasks. These are the three things that we have to see, and once we are able to identify these things, your operation plan will be ready. Let us see first key area is orientation program for the faculty and staff of the institute. See, this is one key area that involves some sort of activities. you need to orient the faculty and staff about the curriculum changes. Now, let us try to identify, are there any related tasks based on these areas. This task, the orientation of faculty about the content changes and course objectives. This is one of the tasks related to this area, that we orient the faculty about what sort of changes have taken place in the syllabus. Are there any changes as far as the course objectives are concerned? These are the tasks, and some orientation, some sort of orientation has to be provided to the faculty and the staff. And the person who will be responsible for this task is the head of department for that specific discipline. So, this is one task. Can we identify another task related to this key area? Identifying the additional resources required. This task again is related to this key area, that beside the orientation you identify, you communicate to the faculty and staff that these are the additional resources that will be required for implementing this curriculum. The additional resources in terms of physical resources or information sources or human resources, any additional resource that is required, that has to be communicated to the faculty and the staff. And the person who will be responsible for identifying these additional resources and communicating it to the faculty and staff will be the head of department or the faculty members of a particular department. Let us identify another key area, such as procuring the resources. This again is a very important area that involves number of activities. The related tasks connected with this key area are setting up new labs and workshops. Sometimes the curriculum stipulates that some new labs will have to be set up, some new workshops have to be set up. Similarly, sometimes the curriculum prescribes that some new equipment, some new machinery will have to be purchased. Similarly, it is also possible that the curriculum prescribes that certain number of human resources, whether it is faculty or staff member, they have to be procured. Now, corresponding to these tasks, we identify the persons who will be responsible for this. For setting up new labs and workshops, the principal or head of department will be responsible. For procuring new equipment, HOD will be responsible, and for procuring human resources, the Directorate of Technical Education and the principal of the institute, they will be the main persons who will interview the persons and take the desired number of faculty or staff members to enable the institute to implement the curriculum. Let us identify another key area, organizing faculty development programs. This is very important area as far as curriculum implementation is concerned. Organizing a number of faculty development or training programs. The related tasks are training for updating the knowledge and skills of the faculty members. If the faculty members have to actually implement the curriculum, they themselves have to be trained, they themselves have to be updated in that particular subject areas, and the person responsible for this is the principal and or the head of the department of a particular discipline. Then another task is training the teachers in using audiovisual aids and in pedagogy. The person responsible for this is the principal or head of department. And then training in resource management. It is not only the teachers who have to be trained, even the head of departments have to be trained, even the principals of the institute have to be trained in managing the resources, in effectively utilizing the existing resources, in procuring new resources, in networking with other people to share the resources. All that is required, and this is possible by training the people, and the person who will be responsible for this is Directorate of Technical Education for a particular state. Let us identify another area, and this is development of instructional resources. You need to prepare the instructional resources if you have to actually or effectively implement the curriculum. The related tasks as far as this key area is concerned are developing the learning material. See, sometimes good textbooks are not available, good lab manuals are not available, and if the curriculum has to be implemented properly, we need to develop this learning material, and the person responsible for this task will be the teachers related to different subjects who are actually teaching those subjects. They will be responsible for developing the learning material. Now, once this learning material is developed, we have to assess the quality of this learning material. Is it worth using this material? Can we actually use this material while implementing the curriculum? And the person responsible for assessing the quality of the learning material will be the head of department. Sometimes it may not be possible to develop the learning material, or sometimes good quality learning material is available in the market. Then you need not actually develop the learning material, you have to actually procure the learning material from the market. So, a very important task will be procurement of instruction material, and the responsible person who will carry out this task is the principal or the head of department. Let us see another key area, monitoring the curriculum implementation process. This area is very, very important. We have to see that the curriculum is implemented in letter and spirit. All the people are involved while implementing the curriculum, and if we try to identify the tasks that are related to these areas, one of the tasks is allotting duties for implementation. You identify the people who will be actually teaching different subjects. You identify the people who will be actually making demonstrations in the laboratory, who will be actually making jobs in the workshops. They will do the necessary activities, and that will enable the students to develop desired knowledge and skills. So, allotting the duties for implementation of the curriculum, the responsibility for this lies with the principal and head of department. We also collect feedback about the curriculum. If there are any difficulties in implementing the curriculum, that sort of information we get from the teachers. Sometimes the teachers say that this type of equipment is not available, such type of facilities are not available in the classroom, and that is why they are finding it difficult to implement the curriculum. So, all that feedback is collected, and then necessary corrective actions are taken. The responsibility for collecting this feedback lies with the head of department. Then another important task related to this key area is strengthening the industry institute interaction. We have to be constantly in touch with the people from the industry to know what type of technological advances are taking place in the industry, what type of knowledge and skills we need to develop amongst the students. So, there is a need to constantly interact with the industry, have a strong industry institute interaction, and the responsibility for this lies with the principal and head of department. And the last task connected with this key area is training the students in the industry. You can take the students to the industry for an industrial visit, where they can actually see what type of processes, what types of operations are taking place. They can also see what type of technological advances are taking place in the industry. They can also take up some project work that will be useful to them in developing problem solving abilities, and the responsibility for training the students in the industries lies with the training and placement officer. So, my friends, let me sum up by saying that curriculum implementation is a very challenging task, and the responsibility for implementing the curriculum lies with the institute management. The institute management has to play a proactive role in effectively utilizing the existing resources and procuring new resources. But one thing is certain, that right type of commitment and right type of attitude on behalf of the institute authority, the faculty and staff will definitely lead to smooth and effective implementation of the curriculum. Thank you very much.